paper for the day, the New Telegraph. So we'll take a look and see what they have to say today on the trending news, the storyline in politics, health, and education. All right, a quick start. We'll first of all take a look at the Vanguard. Let's see what the Vanguard has for us this beautiful morning. On the headline of the Vanguard this morning, we have a leading story there. On the Vanguard this morning, we have Kaduna names of 177 abducted worshippers revealed. Kaduna names of 177 abducted worshippers revealed. Still talking about the abducted worshippers that was kidnapped in the recent kidnapping. All right, going out on that, we have 177 abducted, 11 escaped. CSW and group revealed police situation reports confirm abduction. We also have attack occurred 1 week after 2.6 million ransom was paid for release of some villagers. Sources, that is by the sources. Still going on further, we have rights group accused security agents of blocking access. Rights group accused security agents of blocking access. We also have abduction horrific, says U.S. lawmakers, and more. And the last one, we have another unfortunate incident, Obi, that is saying by Obi, still talking about the front page of the newspaper. Kaduna names of 177 abducted worshippers revealed. As in, this is a tragic one. It's such a sad one that the abducted worshippers in Kaduna is no more in news. That this has been trending since over 3 days now. Of the abducted worshippers, we just pray for their return, and they should be returned to their family and be united. And we also want the Kaduna government to do the needful and work with Nigerian force and military so that they can be based on yesterday's information. All right, based on yesterday's information, that they were saying that there was nothing like adoption on the newspaper, and we could see the names of the abducted worshippers. I mean, this is a case of it's a sad one. It's a sad one. So we just pray that the government of Kaduna will do the needful and make sure that this 177 worshippers, I mean, they are quite much. So we just pray that they will be reunited to their family and be bring back in peace. We can see their names there, ranging from Samson, Nala, Edison, much to almost 40. All right, so moving on further, still under it on page 34, still under the front page, we have why we insist attack happen. Why we insist attack happen. Hayab, Northern CAN, chairman. Why we insist attack happen. Hayab, Northern CAN, chairman. That is by the chairman. Why she's insisting on that, you can take a look at the newspaper there and see what she has to say on that aspect of insisting on why they insist and attack keep happening. All right, moving on further on the front page, that is the up page of the Vanguard on page 19. We'll see that Nigerians spend $1.73 billion on foreign education. Health in 6 months. Nigerians spend $1.73 billion on foreign education, health in 6 months. That is coming in on page 19 of the Vanguard, the up page there. Moving on further, on page 12, still on the Vanguard, we have impeachment. Assembly Sean Pandef Peace panel in Rivers. Assembly Sean Pandef Peace panel in Rivers. That is Pandef, PANDEF. That's talking about the river crisis. How the Assembly shown Pandef Peace panel in Rivers. So you can grab a copy of that and see what they have to say on that aspect. Then on page 9, still on the Vanguard, we have PDP crisis. PDP crisis. Court dismisses iron cases against INEC, Damagun, and others. PDP crisis. Court dismisses Anyanwu cases against INEC, Damagun, and others. That is coming in on page 9 of the Vanguard. So moving on further, on the down page of still the Vanguard, that is on page 7. Fire raises commercial building in Ikeja Computer Village. Fire raises commercial building in Ikeja Computer Village. That is not a good one, coming in from the fire raising the Computer Village in Ikeja. So you can take a copy of that and see what they have to say there. Then moving on to page 8, just close to page 7. We have FG ups on coalition courses over NSITF levy hike. FG ups, that is OPS, on coalition courses over NSITF levy hike, coming on page 6 of the Vanguard this morning. And that is all we have for the Vanguard this morning. So on the front page of the Vanguard, we still trending on the Vanguard. We have names of 177 abducted worshippers. That is seriously leading throughout this week. All right, moving on from the Vanguard, we'll move to the Tribune. We move quickly to the Tribune. Let's see what the Tribune has for us. On the front page of the Tribune, we have Governor Yusuf defection. Kano APC chiefs warns of forced marriage travails. Governor Yusuf's defection. Kano APC chiefs warns of forced marriage travails. That is coming on the front page of the Tribune. That is on page 3. Then we have under it, Tinubu set to meet Kwankwaso after session with Yusuf. Tinubu set to meet Kwankwaso after session with Yusuf. Then we also have Barau Ganduje rules remain key issue. Barau Ganduje rules remains key issue. Then we also have NNPP leader may get top government appointment. NNPP leader may get top government appointment. That is still on the page 3 of the Tribune. Then moving quickly to the up page of the Tribune. Let's start from the up. That is on page 5. We have YEF 2026. Edun advances Nigeria's interest in Davos. WEF 2026. Edun advances Nigeria interest in Davos. Says FG will rally less on debt, focus on driving investment. It says WEF 2026. Edun advances Nigeria's interest in Davos. Says FG will rally less on debt, focus on driving investment. That is coming on page 5 of the Tribune. So grab a copy of that and see what they have to explain by the WEF 2026. All right, moving on further on page 26 of the Tribune. Still on the Tribune, we have the Izani trial on in 100 pounds bribery. Cases begin in London to last 12 weeks. The Izani trials in 100,000 pounds bribery. Cases begin in London to last 12 weeks. That is coming in from the Izani, which is on her trial. So you can grab a copy of that and see what the whole story has to say on the trial that was beginning in London. That has lasted for 12 weeks. All right, moving on quickly down to page 2 of the Tribune. That is page 2. We have Constitution review. We will begin clause by clause. Consideration January 2027. Senate. I'll take it again. Constitution review. We will begin clause by clause consideration January 27, says by the Senate. Then under we still have state police special seats for women top list. State police special seats for women top list. That is coming on still on the page 2 of the Tribune. Then moving down on the next page of the Tribune, on page 5, we have reports reveals low awareness of Nigerians' 2025 tax law among business owners in the state. Report reveals low awareness of Nigerians' 2025 tax law among business owners in the states. That is talking about the tax law among the business owners in the state, coming in on page 5. Then let's quickly move to heads still on the Tribune. That is on page 27. We have artificial saliva made from sugarcane, promising solution for severe for server's cavity. I'll take it again. Artificial saliva made from sugarcane, promising solution for server's cavity. That says by report. I mean, this is such an interesting one. How saliva can be made from sugarcane. I don't know the health concern on that. I think you will grab a copy to know severe the severe cavity. It's a promising solution for severe cavity. I mean, you really need to take a look at that to see what is how it can be, how solution can actually be made using saliva and sugarcane. I mean, I'm not a health expert. So, all right, quickly moving to page 3. Still on the Tribune this morning, 21st of January. All right, PDP presidential ticket opens to all Southerners, including Jonathan Turaki, says by Turaki. PDP presidential ticket open to all Southerners, including Jonathan, says by Turaki. NWC visits Namadi Sambo. NWC visits Namadi Sambo, coming on page 3 of the Tribune this morning. So grab a copy of that and see what they have to explain and the story there. So lastly, by the right of the Tribune, on page 4, court orders INEC to publish David Mark's ADC list for FCT area council's election. I'll take it again. Court orders INEC to publish David Mark's ADC list for FCT area council election. I mean, that is coming in on the page 4 of the Tribune. See, on the front page of the Tribune, that's what we have on page 3. It says, Governor Yusuf defection. Kano APC chiefs warns of forced marriage travails. Coming on the front page. And we also have Tinubu set to meet Kwankwaso after session with Yusuf. Then we also have Barao Ganduje rules remain key issue. Barao's Ganduje rules remain key issue. Then we have NNPC leaders may get top governmental appointments. All right, that is all we have for the Tribune. So you can go through the stories and pick most striking and interesting ones that you read to digest more. All right, let's quickly move to the Daily Trust and see what the Daily Trust have for us this 21st January. This beautiful one. We have on the front page of the Daily Trust, abduction. Kaduna villagers recount ordeals. Abduction. Kaduna villagers recount ordeals. Still talking about the case of kidnapping in Kaduna. It's really a sad one. Really a sad one. It has been trending seriously throughout this week. I mean, the needful should be done so that they can be reunited to their family. I mean, if the government can really put things in order in that state and make security the paramount agenda there, so that these kidnappers will not have their free access. I mean, they cannot just go and pack people from as worshippers from the church, and they just made away with them because they are much in number. I mean, the need should be done. All right, still moving on further. That is on the front page of the Daily Trust. Then on the page 4 of the Daily Trust, we have Daizanis appear before UK court over alleged 100 billion bribe. Still talking about the Daizani bribing case that she needs to appear in UK court over 100,000 bribe. As in, I mean, you can grab a copy of that and see the Daizani court case there. All right, still moving on. That is on page 4. Okay, quickly moving on to page 6 of the Daily Trust. We have seized drone in Benue boat mishap. Seized drone in Benue boat mishap. I mean, that is talking about the drowning of people that have to lose their life on a boat capsizing inside the water there. So you can grab a copy of that and see what they have to explain on the seized people capsizing inside the water, losing their life. All right, quickly moving further on page 10 of the Daily Trust. I mean, we have on page 10 on Daily Trust, we have articles weighed in as supporters. Obedient clash over ADC tickets. Article weighed in as supporters. Obedient clash over ADC tickets. Still talking about the 2027 election. that is beating drum around the corner, and Atiku winning as a supporter, while Obedient clashed over ADC ticket. I mean, you can grab a copy of that and see what they have to say over that. Then on page 6 of the Daily Trust, we have 11 killed in Edo auto crash. 11 killed in Edo auto crash, coming in on page 6 of the Daily Trust this morning. Then on page 11 of the Daily Trust, we have PDP, court dismisses Anyang suit over withdrawal. PDP, court dismisses Anyang suit after, I'll take it again, PDP, court dismisses Anyang suit after withdrawal. Talking about the court dismissal of Anyang by PDP. All right, that is on page 11. Then on page 17, still on the Daily Trust this morning, we have varsity students commit suicide after losing 600,000 to betting. Varsity student commit suicide after losing 600,000 to betting. I mean, there should be a balance in betting while betting, because this has caused a lot of harm to most of our youth today. Especially in Nigeria here, we know what betting is all about, especially if you are addicted to betting. You know the cost of it. So there should be a balance. I mean, you can't bet all your life using such amount of money, since you know this is a 50-50 thing. So there should be a wisdom, there should be a balance in it. All right, you can get a story of that to see how a varsity student will lose committing suicide. I mean, this shouldn't be the norms of the day. Committing suicide over 600,000. 7,000 to betting. It's such a huge amount of money. All right, that is all for the Daily Trust, and we can see boldly written on the front page of the Daily Trust, still trending: abduction, Kaduna villagers recount ordeal, and we can see the picture of most of the victims, as in trying to most of the people that they were interviewed there. We can see the villagers' head. They were interviewing some of those people there. We can see their picture, and we see the church, how the chairs were vandalized, and how the ordeal happened. And it's such a sad one. It's such a sad one that things like this is still happening in Nigeria, and our securities are trying their best. Quite all right, but we still need to try more. Let's work together to see the development or in security aspects, so that these miscreants can be fished out. All right, I think we'll quickly go on a quick break right now. Then when we come back, we'll continue from the nation. Let's see what the nation has for us when we come back. Thank you for your time. Just stay with us.
Number 10, advanced cybersecurity with AI and quantum resistance. Cyber threats are growing as fast as the technology protecting against them. In 2023, the U.S. saw over 3,200 reported ransomware incidents, according to the FBI's IC3 report, a 74% increase from the year before. AI-driven cybersecurity tools are now being trained to spot anomalies in real time, identifying breaches before they spread. At the same time, researchers are developing quantum-resistant encryption. The U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, has already selected new post-quantum cryptographic algorithms, preparing for a world where quantum computers could break today's encryption in seconds.
All right, you're welcome. If you're still with us, this is still iDEA TV. We are bringing you the newspaper review this beautiful morning of 21st of January, and we are bringing you the trending stories happening in the world of politics, education, and health. All right, we'll quickly move to the nation. Let's see what the nation has for us this morning. On the front page of the nation, we have Edun. Federal government will rally less on borrowing to drive growth. Edun, federal government will rely less on borrowing to drive growth. That is coming on the front page of the nation. Then under it we have, we will depend more on our own resources than on international institutions. It says we will depend more on our own resources than on international institutions. All right, that is coming in on the front page of the nation this morning. Then moving on further, we still have on page 3 which is the upside of the nation. We have IG deploys its squad to rescue 177 kidnapped victims in Kaduna. IG deploys squads to rescue 177 kidnapped victims in Kaduna. I mean, this is still the story of Kaduna victim. I mean, there was a story that came up yesterday, and most of the security personnel were saying that there was no kidnap in Kaduna there. So what are they hiding? What are they hiding? I mean, this is a confusing and a conflicting case, as in why people are saying there's a kidnap in Kaduna, and some security personnel are saying there's no kidnap in Kaduna. I mean, there's a misconception here. All right, you can quickly grab a copy of that newspaper and read more to see the IG deploying squad to rescue. I mean, this is a good one. If these guys can be deployed to make sure these guys are caught and the victim are rescued, it's good. It makes us as a nation to trust more in our security agency and put more trust in our government. I mean, if the IG can deploy squad to rescue 177 kidnapped victims, it should also deploy a squad to protect this victim from being kidnapped. I mean, this is such a sad one that after the deed has been done, then the squad will now be going for rescue. I mean, and we know this rescue, just pray it will not be in the form of negotiation again, because it's not good negotiating with terrorists and kidnappers. All right, I won't dwell much more on that, but it's a nice one if the IG deploys squad for the kidnapped victim. Quickly moving on further, on page 7, still on the nation, this beautiful morning, we have Nigerian produces 554.4 billion in 2025, says NUPRC. Nigerian produces 554.4 billion in 2025, says NUPRC. That is coming in on page 7. Then on page 27, still on the nation, we have missing Natogration opera basin in Liberia, says AREF. Missing missing nonagenarian opera basin in Liberia, says AREF. Then we have on page 27, INEC declare readiness for FCT area council polls. INEC declare readiness for FCT area council polls, coming in on page 27 of the nation. Quickly, still on the front page, we still have the case of the Zenith trial. Still on page 6, it said the Zenith trial in still 100,000 bribery case begin Monday. It says the Zenith trials on in 100,000 bribery pounds case begins trial, which is on Monday. Then we have on page 6, Alaafin relocates to ancient palace. Alaafin relocates to ancient palace. That is still coming on the front page, close to the front page of the nation on page 6. Then moving down on the nation this morning, on page 3 of the nation, we have courts likely to seal government acquisition of Hussaini controversial UK house. Courts likely to seal government acquisition of Hussaini controversial UK house. That is still coming in on page 3 of the nation. Then under it we have no one has shown up to claim the house after interim for future order. No one has shown up to claim the house after interim for futures order. And we have on the last page of the Tribune, the Nation, on page 6, death tolls rises to 3 in Osun, NURTW crisis. Death tolls rises to 3 in Osun, that is National Road Transportation Workers on crisis. It says death tolls rises to 3 in Osun by a National Union of Road Transportation Workers crisis. Then on page 6, we have INEC OK's campaign in Ekiti. INEC's OK's campaign in Ekiti. Then still on the front page, on the Nation, we have what I discussed with Tinubu by Kano governor. What I discussed with Tinubu by Kano governor. I mean, coming by Kano governor there, his discussion with Tinubu. All right, that will be all for the Nation this morning. So you can grab a copy of that and see what they have to say there on the Nation this morning. All right, quickly moving to the Punch this morning. Let's see what the Punch have for us. Then on the front page of the Punch this morning, we have that is coming on page 2. Alleged terror financing. Alleged terror financing. Malami forces long detention as DSS intensify investigation. It said Malami faces long detection as DSS intensify investigation. I mean, this is coming in on the front page. Then just under it, we have a secret police signal, thoughts stand. Secret police signal, thoughts stand. Prepare court action to detain ex-AGF further as terror financing cases unfold. This is an interesting one. It's a secret police signal, tough stand. Prepare court action to detain ex-AGF further as terror financing cases unfold. See, talking about financiers of what's it called? Financiers of terror, I mean, the terror that are being financing. All right, the police are taking their stand that they are preparing for serious court action to detain ex-AGF, on terror financing cases as it unfolds. I mean, this I believe this thing shouldn't be a hidden things. There should be a way that is set up that they can be investigating of people that has hands in financing terror. I mean, it's abnormal financing terror just to take people's life and disrupt the development of a country. All right, you can grab a copy of that and see what they have to say on that aspect. They're moving on further. See on the front page of the Punch, which is the off page of it on page 22. We have FG double January bond borrowing to 900 million naira. FG doubles January bond borrowing to 900 million naira. That is coming on page 22 of the Punch. They're moving quickly to page 3. 5 soldiers, policemen killed in Zamfara ambush. 5 soldiers, policemen killed in Zamfara ambush. That is a sad one for the military and the police still fighting insurgency and security in Nigeria. We could see that 5 soldiers and a policeman was killed in Zamfara. All right, quickly moving further to page 21. State hosting IDPAS ICE $12 million W bank loan. State hosting IDPS ICE $12 million W banks loan. Coming on page 21 of the Punch, talking about the hosting of IDPS ICE $12 million by a bank loan. All right, you can take a copy of that and see what they have to say on that aspect. Then moving down, still on the Punch, we have on page 2. Still on the up page of the Punch this morning, Nigeria's ECOWAS export fall 13% after Sahid state exit. Nigerian ECOWAS export fall 13% after Sahid state exit. That is coming on page 2 of the Punch this morning. Then moving down on the Punch, we have on page 21. Domestic refiners moves to cut petrol import. Domestic refiners move to cut petrol import. Coming in on page 21. Then on page 22 of the Punch this morning, we have Nigerians spend 1.54 trillion on beer orders in 9 months. Nigeria spent 1.54 trillion on beer orders in 9 months. Wow, that is coming in on page 22. I mean, grab a copy of that and see what they have to explain on 1.54 trillion on beer. Spending 1.54 trillion on beer just in 9 months. Wow, I mean, that is such a huge amount of money there. All right, quickly moving down to the downside of the Punch this morning, where we have on page 3, businesswoman Achimugu kicks as EFCC seek $30 million for forfeiture. Businesswoman Achimugu kicks as EFCC seeks $13 million forfeiture. Coming on page 3 of the Punch this morning. Then on page 4 and 5, we have DSS frees Ogun pastor associated with a public outcry. DSS frees Ogun pastor associated with after public outcry. All right, that is coming from page 4 and page 5. Then we have on page 14, the last side of the Punch this morning. EFCC squeeze Benue officials over alleged 4.6 billion fraud. EFCC are really on the hunt this morning, and they are really doing so much massive work, hunting down so many things here. We can see that EFCC squeeze Benue officials after over alleged 4.6 billion fraud. I mean, the EFCC are really trying on that space. All right, these are most of the striking stories on the newspaper this morning on Punch. So let's quickly move to the last page of the newspaper this morning. That is talking on the Telegraph, the New Telegraph. Let's see what they have on the front page of the New Telegraph this morning. On the New Telegraph, we can see that 2027, Jonathan orders can contest, says PDP. All right, that is on the New Telegraph. Okay, on it's 2027 on the front page. That is on page 2. 2027, Jonathan orders can contest, says PDP. 2027, Jonathan orders can contest, says PDP. Coming on the front page there. Then we have as party zone presidential ticket to South. As party zones presidential ticket to South. Former Vice President Nnamdi Sambo reinstates commitment to party. Former Vice President Nnamdi Sambo reinstates commitment to party. That is coming on the front page of the New Telegraph. Then on the up page of the New Telegraph this morning, which is on page 2, we have Fashola. I am sorry, pardon. Let me quickly go down to page 3 of the New Telegraph. We have JUAC reject FCTA statement on meeting workers' demand, says strike continue. JUAC reject FCTA statement on meeting workers' demand, says strike continue. Still talking about the strike, the strike that is still on continuing on still on this date. Talking about the FCTA statement on meeting workers' demand. Says the strike may likely to continue. You can get a copy of that is on page 3 to see what they have to enumerate on that aspect. Then on page 3, see on the page 3 of the New Telegraph, we have APC conflict resolution committee. Governor Buni wants members not to project personal interest. APC conflict resolution committee. Governor Buni wants members not to project personal interest. All right. Quickly moving down to page 3 on the down page of the New Telegraph, we have Wale Edun. FG target less borrowing, more investment. Wale Edun. FG target less borrowing, more investment. That is on page 3. And the last page of the Telegraph, before we quickly move to the up page and see what they have for us this morning, we have 5 soldiers, 1 police officer killed in Zamfara ambush. 5 soldiers, 1 police officer killed in Zamfara ambush. I mean, the case of killing in Zamfara and the ambushing of our police police force has really been a sad one, coming in from the insecurity aspect in the nation. I mean, there should be a way that these guys can do their tactical moves and operation without being ambushed. I mean, it's not a good news when most of our police officers and militaries are being ambushed. I mean, it's not a good one. All right, you can grab a copy of that there and see the 5 soldiers and police officers that were ambushed and killed. All right, quickly moving down. Still on page 30 of the New Telegraph, we have men exposed to air pollution face greater prostate cancer risk, says by study. Men exposed to air pollution face greater prostate cancer risk, says by study. All right, moving to page 4 of still on the New Telegraph, we have Macron calls tariff threat unacceptable as Trump says no going back on a Greenland plan. That is, we can see the picture of Macron there. It says Macron calls tariff threat unacceptable as Trump says no going back on a Greenland plan. All right, let's quickly move to page 6. It says NDLA recorded 77.792 arrests, Sage 14.847 kg drugs in 5 years, says by Mawa. I'll take it again. NDLA recorded 77.792 arrests, seized 14.887 kg drugs in 5 years, says by Mawa. That's talking about the drug trafficking and drug. This is a case of intercepting drugs, and it's a good one there. If they can continue on this aspect, I believe more will be arrested and be brought to book. I mean, it's not a good one of white trafficking drug, and you can see the amount of arrest there, 77.792 arrests. I mean, all right. Quickly moving on page 3 of still the New Telegraph. You can see the picture of David Mark there. We have FCT, LG polls court order INEC to recognize ADC candidates. FCT, LG polls court orders INEC to recognize ADC candidates. And the last we have Fashola, I am ignorant. I am arrogant, don't have dual citizenship, says by Fashola. It says, I am arrogant, don't have dual citizenship. And we can see that these are most of the trending stories and on our news this morning. Let's quickly do a quick recap, starting from the Vanguard. We have on the front page of the Vanguard this morning where we have Kaduna, names of 177 abducted worshippers revealed. I mean, this is still a case of the worshippers that was kidnapped. All right. Moving on the Tribune, the front page of the Tribune, where we have Governor Yusuf defection. Kano APC chief warns of forced marriage travail. That is on the Tribune this morning, where we have Tinubu set to meet Kwankwaso after session with Yusuf. Then we also have Barao Ganduje, rules remain key issue. Barao Ganduje rules remain key issue. And we also have NNPP leaders may get top government appointment. That is on the Tribune. Then quickly on the Daily Trust, we have abduction. Kaduna villagers recount ordeal. Abduction. Kaduna villagers recount ordeal on the Daily Trust. That is talking about the case of the kidnap in Kaduna State. Then quickly the Nation, where we have Edun. Federal government will rely less on borrowing to drive growth. Edun. Federal government will rely less on borrowing to drive growth, coming in from the Nation. Then on the Punch, where we have Malami faces long detention as DSS intensify investigation. Malamin, faces long detention as DSS intensify investigation. Then quickly the last one on the New Telegraph this morning, where we have 2027, Jonathan's orders can contest, says PDP. 2027, Jonathan orders can contest, says PDP. All right, that will be all that we'll have for you this morning. I mean, you can grab most of these trending topics and stories and see and send in your comments and your view on what you think about the newspaper review. I am Matthew Gabriel Seriki. Thank you for your time.